Welcome back to 843 TV, where communities come to speak. We're here with Lavon Stevens, and Lavon, you're with the Mitchelville Project. Tell us what the Mitchelville Project is.
The Mitchelville Preservation Project is an organization made up of a diverse board of citizens that are promoting to tell the story of Mitchelville, which is the first freedmen's village in the country for the freed slaves.
Okay. And where is it located?
It's in Fish Hall Park, which is located down Beach City Road in one of the native island communities. That area is called Mitchelville.
Okay.
What went on there when you say self-governing?
You know, back in 1862, during the time when the Emancipation Proclamation was to be read, the freed slaves there were considered, before the emancipation, they were considered to be contraband. They weren't quite citizens yet, but they did have their freedom, and we knew that freedom was on the way. They were allowed to establish their own township, where they elected their own mayor, they established schools, they set up shops for stores. So they were a self-governing community here in Hilton Head. And that's the first one of its kind in the country. That's why we're so proud of it being here on Hilton Head.
Mm-hmm. Lavon, we understand that there is a event that's being planned by the Mitchelville Preservation Project on the 13th of October. Can you tell us about what that involves?
Yes, that's the Mitchelville Preservation Project's Sesquicentennial Celebration program, the event that we're doing on October 13th. It's going to be at the High School Visual Performing Arts Center. We're going to bring in Natalie Days, and she's going to do her one-woman act on Becoming Harriet Tubman. Going to be some other
Who's involved with this event in particular, and what other groups and organizations are you working with on the event?
Besides Natalie Days, I'll be there performing along with the Out of the Blue chorus from the high school under the direction of Larry Mercer. So we always like when we can involve the schools and promote the education and help tell the story of Mitchelville within our school system and throughout the community. And Monty Jett from the Island Radio is going to be our MC.
You had an event last summer, I think it was. I could be wrong on the dating here, but Mitchelville received a lot of attention over at the West, and you had an event where people came from all over to learn about Mitchelville. Hundreds of people there. What was the purpose of that event?
That was the forum. That was huge. That was very exciting, and it was real powerful. We had professors and different folks who've been studying Mitchelville as well as other African American studies, and they came to that forum, and it was really powerful. And I think that's really when we got a lot of excitement here in the community and around the country. So the story of Mitchelville is really starting to take off.
It is, and I think being someone who lives on Hilton Head Island, to see that interest coming from beyond the island itself, when some of us here don't realize what a gem we have, historical gem, really brings it home when you see the kind of gathering that came to learn and speak about Mitchelville. People, as you say, professors that know so much of the history.
Absolutely.
So many people that live here, I didn't know where it was. So I think that's really important to expand the knowledge so that we all know what has gone on here. So what other developments have occurred that have really pushed this project forward?
Last year I was actually involved in the Chamber of Commerce's leadership class, and we took that on as one of our projects to build a gazebo and a gathering area down there at Fish Hall Park. So the Chamber of Commerce has certainly partnered with the Mitchelville Project. The town of Hilton Head, with the use of the land, is partnering with the Mitchelville Preservation Project. And of course the Gullah Geechee Corridor, which is a national organization interested in preserving the Gullah Geechee culture up and down this portion of the East Coast, has also been very much a part of the development of Mitchelville and getting that story told.
Okay, now part of the preservation of it, you mentioned earlier when we were talking that you were actually going to try to rebuild something?
That is a part of the plan. We have a master plan, and there's kind of twofold. We definitely want to get the story out and promote the story and educate people. Education is a great big part of what we do with the Mitchelville story. Eventually we want to build a replica and do the archaeological digs and to recreate some of the structures and markers that were there in the actual town of Mitchellville.
Okay, so because they were the first self-governing place, they had their own mayor,
They had their own mayor.
their own schoolhouse.
Yes.
So those are the type of things that you want to not only educate about, but maybe eventually recreate.
Yes, we'd like to recreate some of those structures, and certainly to help, again, tell that story that the first mayor for Mitchellville was the pastor for the First African Baptist Church.
Really?
And of course, out of that church came all of the other churches on the island, and that's where the whole culture really started, right here on Hilton Head.
You know what it reminds me of in a sense? I think Old Sturbridge Village, for people that are from New England and Massachusetts, in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, it's a recreated village, and people go to see how people lived day to day. And I can see a Mitchellville being like that here and drawing people to the area, really.
Yeah, we think that Mitchellville certainly has the potential, as our hope, to impact the tourism and certainly our local economy, because we want people to know that we're more than one or two dimensional. We got more here besides our beautiful beaches, which we love, and the golf, which we love. But there is also another part of this beautiful area that we live in that is rich in history and rich in the culture that we have all enjoyed, and we want to tell that story. So when people come here, they really discover something that is rich about our town.
Excellent. Of course, you know, we talked about sustainability earlier, and historical preservation is a part of that sustainability.
Absolutely.
So we're talking about a matter of major historic significance. You've got an event coming up, and you said you were going to perform.
Yes.
You perform. Tell us about that quickly.
I play the piano and I sing and perform regularly at the Jazz Corner, but I'll be a part of the music performances there on October the 13th at 6 o'clock at the
Excellent. How can people get involved with the Mitchellville Project? How can they contact you?
You can go to the website, it's mitchellvillepreservationproject.org, or you can call the office at 843-255-7300.
All right. Lavon Stevens, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more 843 TV.